the meeting to order for the Brown County School Corporation. Is there any modifications to the agenda?
There are none.
Any visitors or comments from the office, the audience? Okay, presentation, Mr. Bell?
Yeah,
All right.
all right, I'm gonna bring Aiden up here with me.
Okay.
I actually printed off what he's gonna speak on behalf of, so if you guys want a copy of this, you can. Aiden is a junior, gonna be a senior football player for me, and
Thank you.
I asked Ms. Tracy if it'd be all right to have him come in and speak. I kind of feel like it's important that, especially the future leaders of our program, learn to be a leader in their rights of what we're looking for out of you guys. And so he's going to kind of talk about what it is that we're asking permission for. And then if he doesn't have some answers for you, I can kind of fill it in.
All right, well, on behalf of the entire football team, we're seeking permission to attend an out-of-state field trip to Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, for a fundraiser. Levy Entertainment is the company we will be working for. They've agreed to pay us $150 per person for this fundraiser. With the help of our coaches, players, and many parents, we expect to raise anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 for this fundraising event. We will be going down on opening night, Saturday, April 26th, and Tuesday, April 29th. This money will go a long way helping us prepare for the 2025 season and beyond. With the purchase of new equipment, including jerseys and pride packs, it is our goal to provide everyone in this program with all the necessary equipment without charging any players or their parents and families to participate. Not only is this a great opportunity for us to make some money, we're also interested in learning about Kentucky Derby Week. And this is just a great way for us to have fellowship with each other, with our fellow players. So
What do you guys get to do?
we're going to be serving and bussing tables up in some restaurant, I'm not sure.
That beats picking up trash. That's what I did.
That sounds pretty cool.
You're getting a better rate than we got at the 500. I think we only got $90 for, I don't know, 14 hours of
Oh, man.
something. So I think 150 sounds good.
Per person, that's great.
Yeah.
Have you ever been here before?
I have not. I only drive through Kentucky to go to other places. I've never.
I just remember going in elementary school, the kids were in elementary school, we went down there for Churchill Downs for the day.
I got a little family down there, but not really much.
It's an interesting place.
Will the whole football team get to go?
Most of the players will be attending on either one day or the other. Some have events that they can't make it on the Saturday, but they'll be able to make it on the Tuesday. We also have a couple other sport programs that are going to be joining us to make some money for their programs. If this year goes well, we're going to really open up the opportunity for anyone and every other one that can come down and make the time. That's why we're really asking for this. I know it's during the school day, but an opportunity for kids to not only come down and make some money, but really just seeing the new environment. I've done this for the last 4 years at the corporation I've worked at, and the kids have just get overwhelmed with just the nativity of things that they get to see, both watching the races and just the very expensive things that go on at the derby races that we are taking.
Are they going to wear hats?
No, everybody has a full uniform, but
Okay.
there will be plenty of people that wear their derby hats for the event.
That's the most fun. That's the only reason I would go.
Yeah,
It's an
so
invitation.
as of right now, we're asking for a bus to take us down there. On that Tuesday when we go, we're gonna need an activity bus and a regular bus because some of the kids that have events for sports that evening will be coming back a little early to go to their sporting event. You have anything else you wanna finish with?
Not really. I'm good.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Any discussion items?
There are none.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from March 3rd of 2025?
So
Aye.
moved.
Second, the approval of the minutes from March 3rd.
Any discussion? Vote? Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
All right, redaction needed items.
I have the recommendation to approve the out-of-state fundraiser activity for the football team under the direction of Tony Bell at the Kentucky Derby on April 26th and April 29th. The opportunity may include alternate dates from April 26th through May 1st, 2025, depending on need and availability.
Move to approve the recommended out-of-state fundraiser for the football team to conduct at the Derby.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Thank you.
Let's vote.
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the ECA position for the 24-25 school year at Van Buren Elementary for math bowl coach Christine Heel.
Can I get a motion to accept?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Let's vote.
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yeah.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to approve the $700 on behalf of an anonymous donor for the Invention Convention state qualifiers at Sprunica Elementary.
Move to approve the $700 anonymous thank you donation.
Yay.
So exciting.
And is this gonna go for travel or for other things, do you know? Is it just generally to go towards the program?
I believe it's whatever they will need to be
Okay.
able to make sure that they can get to where they need to go, effectively.
And it was two, I know it was two projects, but it was three
Qualified
kids.
for state, or
Okay.
for nationals.
And where is it this year?
It's always at,
In Michigan?
Yes, Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it moved around, okay. So we don't have to get a plane ticket or anything, that's good.
Any more discussion?
I guess I told Abby whatever is not covered in donations, like the corporation will pick up the expenses for these kids to be able to go and have this experience, so. But grateful for the anonymous donation.
So exciting, 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
You ready to vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Absolutely, yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to approve the donation of $971 on behalf of Linda Hawkins, who partnered with America Online Giving Foundation to the Brown County High School cheer team.
Move to approve the donation of $971 from Linda Hawkins.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Vote.
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to approve the restructuring of Brown County Schools athletics to serve students in grades 6 through 12 under a unified model rather than our current, which is maintaining a separate middle school 6 through 8 and high school 9 through 12 athletic director positions.
Move to approve the restructuring of Brown County Schools athletics to serve 6 through 12.
Can I get a second? Any discussion? Vote.
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the recommendation to approve the creation of a strength and conditioning position to support student athletes across the district.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Vote.
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
I have the recommendation to adopt the resolution determining need for buildings project.
Can I get a motion to accept?
I so good.
Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, and this will be the same for the determining need for the site project. This is in reference to the bonds, that were approved at the last meeting. This resolution is just required by the school leasing statute, that the board determines there is a need for the building project.
Any more discussion? Vote.
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to adopt the resolution determining a need for the site project.
Do I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Again, this is required by the school leasing statute.
Vote.
Doug, Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to adopt the resolution reapproving the building corporation.
Move to approve the adopting the resolution for reapproving building corporation.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Again, the IRS requires that the school board reapproves the building corporation and then authorizes it to issue tax exempt bonds on behalf of the school corporation.
Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I have the recommendation to adopt the resolution approving preliminary plans in form of amendment to lease.
Can I get a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
This is just the resolution that states the school corporation is going to fund these projects through a lease financing. We have been able to do that in the past with other construction or renovation projects. They're used across many school corporations in Indiana to be able to borrow for renovation and construction. This financing does not count against the school corporation's debt allowance.
Any more discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The recommendation to adopt the resolution authorizing refunding of the 2014 bonds.
Motion to accept.
Move to approve adopted resolution authorizing refunding of 2014 bonds.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, this is, if you remember from the previous two presentations from Ice Miller and Steeple, this is just taking care of the legal requirements. If we would want to refinance those 2014 mortgage bonds that we have, this is just taking care of the legal steps to be able to do that if and when the opportunity presents itself.
Any more discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the recommendation to approve the changes of the 25-26 and 26-27 academic calendars.
Do I have a motion to accept?
Yes, so good.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we have decided to be able to add 3 days to the teacher's contract to provide district-wide professional development. So the days that have been chosen are the February 16th in 2025, but it's typically the President's Day that we have used as a weather makeup day. That will no longer be a weather makeup day. No kids will be in session on that day regardless, but our staff will be here, weather permitting, so we can be able to provide professional development. And then we will also use the 2 election days, one in November and one in May, to be able to have staff come in and be compensated so we can provide professional development. Students are already not in session on those 2 days, so this really doesn't have an impact on families as much as it does of adding the 3 days to the contract for teachers.
Any more discussion?
And you've had lots of discussion about this with the teachers and the union and all of that, and they're all good with these 3 days, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's 100% in agreement with it,
Right.
but yes, administration has met with the association.
Well, and I know you've negotiated, like, what's it gonna look
Corporation.
like and when it's gonna be and how many sessions.
We
and all
put out a
that.
survey for different options and scenarios and came to the decision to just do 3 days.
And it doesn't really affect, is one of those would be a snow day, right, or no?
It's
It is
typically
snow
a
day for
scheduled
kids.
weather makeup day.
Right. So as far as families are concerned, it's not gonna change that. Right? Great, thanks.
Any more discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to retain the services of the Rollins Group LLC and specifically Daniel D. Rollins to fill the role of design criteria developed required by Indiana Code for a public works design build project for a fixed fee of $23,000.
Move to approve the retained services of Rollins Group LLC for a
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, this is required, as we said before, the HVAC projects at Van Buren and the high school. We are part of an guaranteed energy savings contract with Performance Services. So it makes a whole lot of sense for us to use Performance Services to continue to get those savings, and then they have already moved forward on the steps with that project. However, with the athletic site project, we are required by Indiana Code to hire a design criteria developer that will take us through the request for qualifications and the request for proposals process throughout the entire project. So this recommendation is to specifically hire Dan Rollins to fulfill that role for the corporation, and the $23,000 will come out of the bond proceeds, not out of Brown County Schools operations.
Any more discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to approve the early literacy supplemental pay resolution.
Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we receive a small amount of money from the Indiana Department of Education each year to be able to provide to teachers or staff members that have helped in getting kiddos to pass IREAD 3. So the resolution that is in the board packet just outlines who gets that equal amount with the grant money that we get. And each year it's a different amount. It's kind of like the TAG grant. So that resolution just spells out which staff members at each of the elementaries receive that stipend.
Any other discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have the recommendation to appoint a technical review committee as required by Indiana Code for the process of selecting a design builder on a public works design build project. The technical review committee will consist of the following members: Emily Tracy, a superintendent, will represent Brown County Schools. William Schepler is a professional engineer registered under Indiana Code, and then Daniel Rollins is an architect registered under Indiana Code, who is also serving as our design criteria developer and a full voting member of the technical review committee.
Move to approve the appointed TRC with members of Tracy Rawlings and Shepherd.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just think it's important to note out that the board each January appoints a bid opening committee for things within the corporation. This project is different. We're required by Indiana law to have an architect and an engineer as a part of that technical review committee. So you don't have just a committee that is just school people. And you can't have a board member that serves on that technical review committee because you will ultimately be approving the bid that comes in on it. So that's the background.
Any more discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the consent agenda items, starting with the separation of Brown County Schools Corporation nurse Aspen Daniels effective May 27, 2025, through the transfer of the Brown County Middle School 7th grade boys basketball coach Josh Hawley to Brown County Middle School 8th grade boys basketball effective March 6, 2025.
Do I have a motion to accept?
Move to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
So are we looking for a new nurse?
Well, of course we are. Aspen is going to stay with us through the end of the year. I think she's already done some work recruiting and gonna bring somebody tomorrow to meet with. So she's been really, really helpful and sad that she's leaving us. She's been absolutely incredible for Brown County Schools, just in a really short amount of time that she's been here. But family takes her elsewhere, so I guess we have to let her go.
Any more discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries. Superintendent's report.
Yeah, back from spring break, I was weather, come in that Friday evening of last weekend and had a little bit of damage across the district, out at Eagle Park. We had a batting cage that was blown up against the Brown building and hit a water hydrant, which put a little bit of water in the basement, but nothing catastrophic. We will have to purchase a new batting cage, and fix 2 fence posts, from that. But other than that, there was just a little bit of damage to the Brown County Schools, emblem on the sign at central office. So we'll have to look to replace that, but I think, according to the schools, right, everywhere else across the district, seemed to be very, very minimal. Lost power, but got it back, and then, woke up to no heat at the middle school today, but I was told it came back on and people warmed up, so. I wanna give a huge congratulations to, Van Buren Elementary. They had 100% pass rate on grade.
Yay.
So that is really, really exciting. Helmsburg and Seronica are right there behind them. They are some legal changes in the requirements. Kids in 3rd grade will get an opportunity to have remediation now until the end of the school year. They'll get to test again at the end of the school year before they get out. If they did not pass the second time, they will have an opportunity to attend summer school that we've designed for 2 weeks, and they'll have a 3rd opportunity to take that test. So we're hopeful and excited to get them where they need to be for iRead for sure. Big Fish is the musical that is coming up. I think it's April 10th is opening. So encourage everybody to get tickets to see the spring musical. It is going to be really, really great. And then I just wanted to give one last reminder that April 11th was our weather makeup day, that we will be in session on Friday, April 11th. And currently our last student day is Tuesday, May 27th.
That it?
I think that's it.
I knew it was the 27th, because that's when the buses go after hours. Thank you. Claims. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote?
Doug,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Denise.
Yes.
Motion carries. Legislative update.
Yeah, I was just checking to see kind of what, I don't know what happened today, but it is crazy time in the state legislature. So, as I mentioned, I think at the last meeting, we have crossed over, so all the bills that pass the Senate go to the House, and all the bills that pass the House now go to the Senate. Our organization, the Indiana State School Boards Association, is pretty much our lobbyist organization, and they have reduced the number of bills they're tracking from 184 bills to 69. So that many bills died that they were tracking, and so it kind of gets narrower and narrower as we get closer. The deadline that we're looking at next is April 15th. A bill must have had a 3rd reading in the full House by April 15th, meaning in the next 3 weeks, a bill has to be passed by the committee of the other House in order to keep moving on, and then has to have a 2nd reading and a 3rd reading by April 15th. Then the session will end, I think it's April 29th. So we're getting closer, but we're kind of in the messy middle of all of that. So there are a couple of bills that, we're paying a particular attention to. The one we've been most interested in is Senate Bill 287, which is the partisan school board bill. What happened with that is it was a Senate bill that passed. The House bill died, so we're only dealing with one bill, and it went over to the House. It went to the Elections Committee, and they did pass it out, but they changed everything about it. So they went back to the bill they had that they liked better. They took out the need for a primary. They said that there could be, I guess, a choice. You could choose a party or a nonpartisan or be independent. However, unfortunately, that doesn't solve the problem with this bill, which is that it excludes a lot of people who cannot serve in a school board if they are a federal employee or part of the judicial code of conduct. So if the race is at all partisan, then they would be excluded, and it turns out to be a substantial number of people who would be excluded from serving on a school board. So it has passed that committee 8-5. I think that's a party line vote. And then it is now set for a second reading this week on March 17th. That means that in the House, either this week or next week, probably there will be discussion on the House floor. And it does indicate that our organization is trying to change some of the language about party affiliation from a shall to a may. So that you could use a political affiliation if you chose to. The thing is that you already could. You could already put it on your campaign materials and say whatever you wanted to. So, but unfortunately it looks like it is moving forward. But now, of course, we have two different bills, one in the Senate, one in the House, and they don't match, or they won't match. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. It is still very much an active bill. The other couple of bills that are pretty important to us is, one I haven't mentioned here before is House Bill 1498, which is about school accountability. As you know, we used to have A to F grades for schools. We did away with that when we went from iStep to iLearn, and we had COVID. So now the legislature is proposing going back to a system which is some kind of accountability, and it is still letter grades. If it passed, it would have to be determined, and a new system would have to be created by the end of this year, and then it would take effect, I guess, in the 25-26 year. So I don't know where that's at right now, but it is one that we're watching, because, but with the dashboard and other things, you know, I think that information is more accessible, but defining exactly, you know, what that means would still be up in the air. Again, the most important things to watch are the budget bills, which is House Bill 1001 and Senate Bill 1. And those are really messy. I don't know if you heard, but maybe last week in the Ways and Means Committee, they heard like 10 hours of testimony. And a lot of them were superintendents and school board members who were there talking about the effects of different property tax proposals on what it would do to local government. And I'm just glad that the committee listens. Like, they often will cut people off at 2 minutes and don't let people testify, but this one has a lot of people with a lot of things. And then, so the next thing that happens there is that bill has not changed since that hearing. So they were talking about amendments, and then the House bill is set for hearing on Friday in the Appropriations Committee. There is one other one that is I'm kind of interested in. One of the House members is a teacher. She was a 30-year math teacher. And so she's very concerned about, you know, we have teacher appreciation grants, and they're called TAP grants, and HB 1500 would change the way that we do those teacher appreciation grants. The problem is they want to give us money to give to the teachers who are effective or highly effective for like 2 years, and it would be added to base pay rather than being a grant. But then after the 2 years, they aren't going to give us the money anymore, leaving us with a higher base pay, but not compensating us for that. So they have not set a hearing on that, and she's been very vocal about, there's nothing wrong with our system right now, everybody likes it, it's going well, we shouldn't change it. So if anybody has I know teachers can feel very strongly about those things. There are a number of compensation bills that are out there that it's important to speak out about, because as teachers and administrators, you know, you're the ones who are going to feel the effects of that, and they need to hear from you. I think that is pretty much it as far as kind of those kind of bills, and I appreciate everybody, but do pay attention the next couple weeks, because the thing is it's really important for legislators to hear from their constituents. They don't really care what anybody else says, but if you live in their district, they listen to what you say. And so it's important, if they get 50 calls on a certain bill to find out that TAP grants are really important, or, you know, you really care about school board elections, then they start to sit up and pay attention. So it's really important for everybody to do that. So, thank you.
As a reminder, it's Senator Eric Cook and,
Yes.
and Representative Dave Hall.
Right, yes. And both of those, the information to contact them is at the Indiana General Assembly, and you can just put in their names and they'll tell you the phone number and the address and the email to get hold of them. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? We're done.